that the emergency response was very timely. The investigation determined that the accident was caused by the sudden loss of altitude and lift due to downdraft. This loss of altitude without change in power or pitch altitude is consistent with downdraft associated with changing environmental conditions over high terrain. In our findings also, we said there's limited national navigational capacity, a capability for en route and remote area weather services. We also looked at training and realized that the Air Force doesn't have much simulator training. We looked at flight monitoring and realized that there was no flight data monitoring also taking place. For flight following and tracking of aircrafts, we realized that it was also not there. There's no secondary surveillance radar, no automatic dependent surveillance broadcasts, or any other real-time tracking of aircraft. Our safety recommendations. There is a definite need to modernize the fleet of the Ghana Air Force. We have recommended that the Air Force acquire modern aircraft with terrain avoidance warning systems and modern navigation systems. That the aircraft should have cockpit voice recorders and flight data recorders, which are the audiovisual capable types. That the Air Force should invest in simulators for recurrent training. That they contract certified aviation weather provider or providers, and that Ghana as a nation should try to have en route navigational aids, especially in remote areas. The Air Force should seriously consider establishing flight data monitoring and en route tracking systems. And finally, we believe that they need to acquire ground support equipment, modernize what they have. In conclusion, the helicopter accident was an unfortunate and sudden weather-related accident. Implementing the safety recommendations will prevent the reoccurrence of future accidents. At this time, before I take any questions, I just want to give a few acknowledgements. I'd like to acknowledge the efforts and the support that the team had from the National Security Secretariat, led by the National Security Coordinator. It made what was a really difficult job for us much easier to do and encouraged us to do and persevere to come up with these results. I'd like to say thank you also to the US team that joined us for a period of the investigation.
Absafo de mutie nyira no ebse brofo no ai bebre na sania Facebook fo no bi ebusebusa se papa no de report no akenkan report no adan ebi kire sa adan na pressure afan side bi kire sa said the buo fuel na yedne nyina be ma bebre mu no enti yankọ ahoma no so na ye bebo ntofa kakra pa na asemu ba ye international relations expert Farouk Al Wahab ya nua wa ben wa mansan mu pa otu kwande bia wonam wiem ni adade a eta ne na adwen komo ya pase e kono sesi a ne ekote bibi me professor no prof me akwa ba
Kajo mi jo so what to say
ya ho ya pa Ghana for say international relations professor what try there ma dadodo sesi a dia ba beduro nie na nsa na omunya ma no aka ho asem say report na that papa yi nsem obobo so ni mood kra wo ma ode presentation Farouk wo hu ne sen
you maybe 5-10 minutes be. I'm sorry to say, sir, because the report now they ban the highlights in a business aspect of it. Recommendation. Ghana Air Force would acquire me a new. They have to acquire modern aircraft. They have to acquire this. They have to do this. Yet more of his recommendations. A thought does not imagine you. The yet suggest the full-fledged answers of the accident. Is what to me our dema. One, but you say who can say there was no tracking. Air traffic control could not track, and there was no surveillance of the aircraft to forewarn them of baby na omoko and rough terrain. It means the whole country is in jeopardy. One aircraft it will dream for whichever reason, so no can lose the balance as a result of the no general can say your friend is saying awareness, a modernized awareness tracking system on the aircraft. I mean, so many what was the air traffic control doing in the air? What was the Kumasi air traffic control doing? Couldn't they have? Because they are not meeting in another share, so because if they are that kind of meeting, they are better matter there. Or because the aircraft lost touch.
So miss me no pa because me we are translate actually your audience niti wa moso technical words be am picking wa ha there was no flight data monitoring system so it lacked some safety enhancement. The weather was misty and there was no weather report to the pilot.
Because you pilot to power where you trained. Now category C and Ghana highest or armed forces. You too. Now what's playing? Nothing to the BR. Or you're professional flying in the air or for the last 10 years. Now the culture in Ghana for laymen and women say flight and no team. There was no recorder. Now, if there was no flight recorder and a black box, and then I have some information, a recommendation, mere recommendation, and to findings now, the findings emanated, and I say originated, and I say magically conjured from a infant. The flight recorder, voice recorder, the FVR, and no see the flight in and a pilot data recorder, she may be in a flight. We must as well throw it away. We should as well as throw it away because then again you're only basing on arguments, assumptions, and presumptions in our demand report.
Having mentioned all these things, Nana, any way mono, Papa Sacher said that the helicopter was airworthy.
Worthy. What kind of joke is that? Flight airworthy it comprises of everything. Now, remember, we said the flight on the ground or any checklist and send and send air traffic control man including night goggles. I said bad weather goggles. Our flight in and air traffic control, a man through the checklist, a man and on no flight, pilot, air traffic control. This machine I'm sitting in front, the machine is not equipped with weather awareness instrument. A machine that has the presence and the of all defense minutes. The machine is not equipped with modernized, as he termed it, modernized flight control, data data systems. Machine now, defense minister and state high-profile officers, including 3 officers at Timono. Some machine, you say certified now that equipment in case. Now they're working. Young Koto more than one. Kojo Z9. A French for a Chinese at the air. Before having a Chinese for plane. A Chinese for license aircraft. The aircraft now your friend is 9. A 365 Dolphins. French for. It is Z9 o'clock. A use China for a French for license. A French phone a certified machine and a Chinese for smartphone. For your information. A French phone a license and having for some machine we say between machine we timiton. A 3 penny we say. America phone will CH Chinook. And a French for 365 Dolphin. And a China for control license. Your friend license, every Airbus. At that time, near helicopter. Helicopter for a year flight, a man a license, a man Chinese for. Into the papa came. Could you who said, so China airways, only flight data code. And now, there was a mention of the machine he could not see whatever. Now, me pass say, flight in a museum, no Ghana Air Force for any air traffic control. Into no machine in no more. I feel I'm sure baby or has a flight time. And your woman a report to military for, and a report is a flight now quite either. Could you not sound kind?
I.
And the fight in a guy, I only don't come once, and then I may make back angel for normally the leaders of this news in this crash. Say, what do you mean can't change a flight in Ida? The flight now could do the destination. In the flight in a Messi, and I was some the measures of Papanaka.
But because of crowd question, say, what share time no plane no 2 year, any number of hours. And son on Baba Casa play Nairan crowd, no crowd, not just a crowd, no, there were so many questions to be answered.
It's questionable. And I feel so idea could do Papa no Sabi. Ghana, you great one massy. So Papa we had to make Ghana for say. The rescue operations, it was very tiny, the word he used. It was very tiny. Very tiny. Papa, get my catcher say. Yeah, you can see we were using sticks. I can't draw Air Force. When you go to Dixon, I can't ask him, Air Force. For any paratroopers and then your friends saying flight airborne officers. Into airborne for. When Timam for plane, I'm a same view. I'm an airborne for entity. Now we can't just say, yes, 6, we have to end it slippery. These are what is called social illustrations. We don't need social illustrations. We need I come as a president from Moyaden. A movie, a movie can say, Sekobasi, you for Sukachi, honorable, the baby Jima. One team report on this. Chief of Staff in Team report. Even His Excellency John Mama, His Excellency, every just one of my report, I catch some Bungu. Because the country not go beyond a year. Country not go beyond, say I establish a fund at the victims or more a family. Country not go beyond so breaking news officially. When it comes to the report, the data report, I was looking at and quiet introduction on near Peja Ubia Soriginal. I am the Z9 because China for the prefer Ubaki Kumsumba. Because on a saw machine, on the machine we are then your business. This accident to machine. Now we have investigation. Now we technical. Because you sign your money any aircraft in Muno. At the same car. Now it be a mechano. A brand new car, but Michelle. Na them jacking them, but you're jacking them up. Men call Toyota manufacturer, I mean, cost a Ford for Namakoji Jackana, Metro Jack their tomb. Side equipment no can winning no. This I say your cotoyano, you busa said to wake home. Whoop awake home, etio, common guns. I told my Ghana military, Ghana police near the Aden. Which have been a consultant that the Scorpion Ghana police as the lead consultant. Yeah, besides a mope boggles at the CISO, and as a mope SYZ so for sniping. Very easy access, and then also opening up point shooting a direction.
Farouk, baby, I'm not papa no crack say. Before say a helicopter no baby to you no. One man brief pilot no. Whether a situation say ensure to and answer be a boss here and now the boss woman you been one say 2 years the horn so no institution be baby yanwana. For example, Ghana Meteorological Agency. I want to see a question about Wana.
Yeah, no, Meteorological Department, also part of the air traffic control, monitoring meteorological. And now, pilot. Nana said, we are causing financial harm to the state. And he said, pilot, you know, access or checklist, which make a meteorology. At the top tower no say we need any surveillance gadget instrument to determine and to be able to navigate through rough terrain. No after ministers, no after nipa no matem na air force wa momaka me hwehwe air marshal no na me hwehwe say air marshal of Ghana waji 4-star general Bonabeti. He is supposed to be the person na can nipa ntimusa no. Now, journalists are saying selective justice as to when a question because it could be rehearsed. There's a technical journalist here, then he's trying to bastardize and useless the existence of Ghana Air Force. There shouldn't be an Air Force because they all cannot just say with that delay immediately enter machine. The partial machine here, American 40 C-67. C-47, and I say Yakoto Dolphins direct. And I say same Z9 Yakoto. Means you invoice about Suchina. Invoice about Suchina. Invoice about Suchina. Neban is also an immediate agenda, no procurement rules. So you're ready there.
So sourcing that is some of the element of agency ebewuram na ya sumsika na omude akwakoto.
They will preaching county findings and higher recommendation. They can recommend they said the country Ghana Air Force does not need Z9. But what you say? To see in Z9. Near who baby are all can. Because that military Z9, no, I have French phone a license in China having no me, a Eurocopter, Airbus for more yen. Because your machine, no, a prototype, a performing helicopter job, and a perform jet. But there's something I know, and your aircraft, and we've been to mechanism is there. Aircraft, you know, set up a person can. So I heard that, and a new man. The main person training say, aircraft, most of them, no, the older it becomes, the airworthy that it comes. Because said, then I kill them for the Baha. Because in a year, it didn't see time at 2 hours. Are you aware? Or this free Accra. Ebedu Amsterdam, Odisi and Ofim Omyamana, machine air Sydney, Sydney. Who says plane engine a year week to that extent? No, because the Z9, Kojo, Otimi jet, Yetimi loading bombs, Yetimi loading air fighting, Otimi fighting. In the Sairai, I said the Makane de Dano, it took 4.5 hours. Play no fool, and one can't just a fool, Nisa. Now, remember, because I said, Papa Nia explaining, apart from say, the weather was rough. I see time to done, I said, on that very day, flights and two, on that very day, no, flights and over that belt. Is that the rough terrain and the rough weather? Sazina, I encounter. Zina encounter weather, not present mama, and then the wife team, Kumasa Patapa, or the sea form. Zina encounter problem, air weather, your friends are Western or the sea form. Into whenever and saying, Kojo, the Papani Kenya does not answer what some of us are looking for.
Yo, ya na wase ewa hanumwe. Farouk Al Wahab, international diplomatic consultant. Na watutu ntokro ewo presentation ya Captain Paul Fodu. Wano ade ababetu dwa no. Ya subsequent bulletins no ya koye nimo no. Se papa no edimwa ifufro beba ya besa akofari ko bio wantimi amfa amanso besa akwaje de aka beso so enti esewa bebia ye BBC ni asa
wafa na yi we the question na me bisa o say ade a any enhanced safety equipment ewo mu no yetimi declare say ye airworthy
how na ye very questionable it is the papa ka kire say say what you say bia driver ni ma memra basics driver na wo twi car na police na gina no na police ni gina no a wo fire extinguisher way was mini bi police ni no busa answer so light me ahwe was mini highlight ma me hwe wiper was mini wiper na police na za ka kire say oh okay
can they say enam kwa so etimi konti ko really Ghana
no why part was trip plane bi da we no captain so nim aviation adwuma nti but was system na question
and so be pressure minim say na tension so achine kakra
so
nti edu ba bia se paper no dan chen na o chirem
minim time o de report no ma no and ono ankasa so wa investigation team no ho nti want me ka say wonye privy to the all kind no but sanya o sha se de tamode be wie no aso bi ase
the countenance demeanor ne the oye wo say report the any paper any enti de ya twere gu so na kan by do ba bi ase wagya paper na to
menya sure so ono akasa kra ne team no menya sure so ono ani team no ani beje said was presentation no anti enam say stories be blegrechen ma menja ma na ye besan ayi ni maako de ma ade amamfo say anwie na kura anwumbre news ye besan be bi me akasa msan wo so ye be yi ya mom maako sa all right